into another edition of the Formula Review. I'm your host, Charles May, and today I'm very lucky to be able to share with you the first Bentley I've personally ever driven, and why not start off with one of the most rare ones ever created. There's only 99 of these 2015 GT3-Rs ever produced, and I'm very excited to take it out on the road here today, show you what it's all about. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy.
All right, here we go. Oh, I love that every time when it brings the seatbelt to you. 2015 GT3-R. And for will it scrape, I can say not a chance. Unless you are a horrible driver, which hopefully you're not if you own this car. You don't have to worry about scraping because this car has pretty good ground clearance. Wow. Though a lot of people compare, Bentley and Rolls-Royce sometimes. They're high-end cars. They're great for driving long distances, and they got a lot of power, but they do have a lot of weight that comes with them. The GT3-R and the Bentley Continental in general seems much smaller to me. I don't know, just visually that's the way it comes across, but it seems much more easy to drive. One thing about the Rolls-Royce is you can't even park it anywhere. Like it's so massive. I remember we tried to fit it under a lift once, one of the ones that fit two cars one on top of the other. It wouldn't even fit underneath the lift because of how wide it was. So with the GT3-R, I feel like it's a little bit more easy to drive on a daily basis, a little bit more manageable, and that means a lot to me because driving a really massive car gets old after a while, especially in an area like the Bay Area where it's constantly just congested everywhere if you're in the city and stuff like that. Trying to find parking spots is much more difficult when your car is too big to even fit in them. So that's the one thing I like about the Bentley, just a slight bit more than a Rolls-Royce. So one of my favorite things about getting to share these cars with you is that I get to find out new stuff on the day that I get to film with these vehicles. One thing that I noticed when I was just going around the outside is this car actually has a very specific exhaust system, and that is a Kropovic, however you pronounce it, I don't know, but it's tuned specifically for this car, and it's got the letters on the both exhausts. So we're gonna go ahead and see how this sounds here in my favorite part of the drive, and that is the tunnel run. I'm gonna throw it into Tiptronic here, give it a little bit of a downshift for you. See how this exhaust system sounds. Oh my God! Woo! That is impressive. Wow! That is very, very nice. I did not expect that. Holy goodness. Okay, so this car has got like that AMG growl to it, that almost like the GT-R. The exhaust system sounds magnificent. Again, an added surprise. I had no idea that exhaust system was on it until I got to drive it today. Thank God they put the lettering on the into the exhaust tubes. I would never know. Really, really nice Bentley. Sounds amazing. One of my favorite things about this car is right when you get between 5,000 and 6,500 RPMs, the exhaust really comes to life. Just sounds absolutely magnificent. When the first thing I really love about this car is the way the interior makes you feel. I mean, Rolls-Royce is really good at that as well, but Bentley's done a nice job, especially with the GT3-R. The use of carbon fiber on the inside is absolutely mental. The door seals have this huge pieces going across the top, which reminds me of the 430 Scuderia, but to see it go and loop all the way around the back, all the way around the front, and across the dash, and you have the really nice Breitling clock. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that incorrectly as well. Just the interior, every these little chrome bits and pieces, even the way the floor mats are secured with these little removable tabs that you pull up on. Tons of headroom. The interior just makes you feel really, really comfortable, really relaxed. I mean, there's something that I noticed today about driving this car is that of all the cars I've been able to share with you from my San Francisco sports cars, this one makes me feel so relaxed on the inside. I don't know what it is about it. I just don't feel very stressed out. The interior is just so tastefully done. There's these little just bits and pieces everywhere that make you feel very special. Again, there's some Audi components in here. You recognize the shifter from other Audis. You kind of recognize the center digital readout. But everything else, there's not enough of the Audi presence to remind me that it's not a Bentley. There's definitely more overwhelming things on the inside that make me feel like this is a very, very special car. Even, you know, Rolls-Royce has some of the BMW components in it as well. So this car, one thing that did extremely well, you know, is just the interior accents. The Alcantara on the outside of the steering wheel, yet it's leather on the inside. The center marker is green. So just really well done, Bentley. Really nice job on the interior, as always. Wow. That is just so impressive. This car weighs a ton, and when you give it the beans, the rearview mirror, you're no longer seeing the traffic that's behind you. It almost like just shoots directly at the ground. I mean, it's pretty limited visibility out there, but I love a car like that has so much power to just squats when you mash the throttle. The second thing I love about this car is that Akrapovic, I'm never going to learn how to pronounce it, that's fine with me, but I love that exhaust system. I've seen it on tons of different cars, GT3-Rs, Ferraris, etc. But this one specifically tuned for the Bentley GT3-R, says so on the pipes. Again, one of the things I found out today, and now it is definitely one of my favorite parts of this car, because I did not expect it to sound this good. And when you have a cabin that's just muted, I mean very little road noise, you can actually hear that exhaust note come through perfectly. It creates those nice little exhaust burbles on the downshifts. And when this car gets into the 5,000–6,000 RPM range, it sounds magnificent. Totally not what I expected any Bentley to ever sound like. And that's the second thing I really like about this car. I like these paddle shifters because they're not the full blade, but they're right where your fingertips are if you have your hands in the right position. Very, very nice. And you have the Tiptronic over here, so you can do either or. But the third thing I really, really like about this car is the overall body lines. I know this has got the rear carbon fiber wing on it, and it's got a different look to it than the standard GT. But when the car first came out, it was just right off the bat, I loved it. It's not one of those cars I had to wait to grow on me and say, oh, maybe I like it, maybe I don't. Right off the bat, I really liked the body lines on it. It was very, very popular. So many people have the Continental GT, and I feel like you're still able to appreciate the original design, even with the accents and what's been added to this car, which gives it that slightly more aggressive look. But the car is just an amazing overall design. The front grille, where it's got the little points, it's very different. Like Rolls-Royce has the vertical slats on their Phantoms and all that. The Bentley grille is of course unique to the Bentley as well. It's got that really sharp, aggressive look. I actually saw a rally once where unfortunately the guy was driving so fast, a bird hit a bird and actually got stuck on the front grille because it's kind of got a pointy design. Like if you were to touch it, it would be sharp. But that's one of my favorite things about the GT3-R and just the GT in general, is that ever since it's been launched, I love the design and it still looks good to this day. So the type of person that I can see owning this GT3-R is somebody that loves black cars. The one person that actually pops into my mind is a friend of mine, Andrew Allison. He's got a 918 Spider in black, a Carrera GT in black, 911R, the list goes on and on. He's the guy loves black cars, and I understand when they're pristine and their paint has no swirl marks, they look magnificent, especially with the green accents. The black and green goes really well together. But for me, it's a nightmare trying to keep a car like that up. I've seen cars with perfect paint, and you take a brand new microfiber, wipe it across the car, and somehow you manage to scratch it. So if you love black cars and you can deal with that headache, this is the car for you. Again, it's not always everyone who has that likes to have such a pristine car, or that really cares about swirl marks and stuff like that. But if you like black cars and black interior, and this car has black wheels, it's essentially black and green everything. and even the decal on the outside, which oddly enough is only on one side of the car. You can remove that if you don't like that. But overall, I mean, this car is just so tastefully done that I don't like black cars, but I like this car more than I thought it would. Well, once again, I have been blown away by a car. I am so fortunate that this is the first Bentley that I ever got to drive was the GT3-R. I don't know how I can compare it to anything else, since it's pretty hard to top this in terms of driving any other Bentley. But thank you so much to Brad for letting me share this with you today. Again, very rare. Only 99 air produced. That's extremely rare numbers. This is number 53, of course. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of Formula View. Let me know in the comments below, what is your preferred color? If you had to go with a GT3-R, would you get it in the white or would you get it in the black? I think I would go with the white, but again, some people really do love black. This car, if you want more information, reach out to Brad at San Francisco Sports Cars. This is priced around $220,000. Again, it's 2015 with almost like only 10,000 miles, so very, very low mileage, extremely rare. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next episode.